Hi guys, and welcome to this week's video tutorial. This would be the last uh, board discussing the central cannon versus the greenhouse defense with double-headed snake pawns. So without further ado, let us begin today's central cannon. Both colors develop their chariots as foul chariots. The 7th pawn variation, the pawn rank chariot variation, and instead of p7 plus 1, red goes for h8 plus 7. p3 plus 1, double-headed snake pawns, and red tries to find compensation with the foul and rank chariots. This was the topic that was started last week. Black would consolidate his defense and wait for Black to wear himself out. Red would pin this file with r9 equals to 6. In today's board, we'll be discussing the new subvariation h7 plus 6 for the Riverbank horse variation. This variation was rather common and popular back in the 1980s. It was quite fashionable back then, but it's not so commonly seen nowadays. And as usual, since h7 plus 6 was played and both horses have not been moved, red would start his attack from the central file. And as with the left Riverbank horse variation in the main topic, h7 plus p7 plus 1 would be played to attack the chariot. And this red would move the chariot to safety, and this would be the position of discussion at this point. Red would threaten the horse with this move. So two variations were discussed. The first would be c2 plus 2, the other would be h6 plus 7. In variation A, c2 plus 2 is played whereby the cannon would move the riverbank to protect this horse. And since the chariot moved away, the black chariot and cannon would now be freed. Now, this would allow the black cannon to play c8 equals to 7, hoping that black could gain some momentum with the attack on this file and this flank. Unfortunately for black, this would be wishful thinking on his part. So red would immediately counter with his p7 plus 1. Black tries to consolidate his defense in preparation for p7 plus 1 attack. So red had used 2 moves to move the pawn, and black will have used 2 moves to move the elephant. And now red, after preparing and freeing and obtaining an open line for the development of this horse, red would now start his counter targeting this approach by black. Now, because the red horse is not free to move, there were fundamental changes to the positioning to the entire situation. Now for this move, if red played h3 plus 5, black can answer with c equals to 5. C equals to 5 for a central cannon to counter, and by this I mean, and black would now, it will be a very intense situation at this point in time, and red would have a harder time trying to control the situation. So that is why p3 plus 1 is played, whereby red could control the situation much better. c8 is equals to 7 as planned. Red boldly prepares to sacrifice the horse. A check. And black could retreat the elephant. Now, red had just played a very beautiful tactical combination. Can black capture the central cannon? Let us see. The answer would be no, because red would capture the cannon instead of the horse and still target the elephant over here. So the chariot would be pinned to the bottom rank for the time being, and the red horse would be under attack. And because of this, of the presence of this cannon, red will now play an intermediate move of r4 equals to 2 to threaten to capture the black chariot, offering as a sacrifice. If it did, this would be an immediate checkmate. And now red will move his cannon to safety, and as can be seen, both the black horses are now trapped, and it is obvious that red would have advantage at this point because the horses don't have any good places to be developed. So red would have a very good advantage in this situation, and that is why h3 plus 5 to capture the cannon is not viable. Instead, black must take into consideration this elephant. So after trading material, black offers his elephant as a sacrifice. Now, for after sacrificing an elephant, red will be compensated with a very powerful central cannon. Both the chariots were now on both the red files. There's always the possibility of a iron bolt checkmate. And black's other chariot and horse has yet to be developed, and at this point in time there not much can be done with this black chariot and horse combination because red had protected all the pieces very well and they were all ready to go, so red would have a significant advantage. Now back to variation B, h6 plus 7. This is a very practical approach, gaining a pawn in the process and preparing to attack the central cannon, which is red's major offensive engine at this point. Red would play h3 plus 5. If h7 plus 5 was played, the cannons would not be linked, and if black captured the cannon, red's offensive down the central file would be lost. Now, black would now play c8 equals to 7. Now c8 plus 5 for an attempt at a cannon skewer would not be viable. Red would simply sacrifice material, preparing to go for the elbow horse attack over here. And red will now sacrifice his horse to mount an attack on this very empty flank. And if once the elbow horse attack is in place, this will be an immediate checkmate. Although black had gained a piece, this cannon was now trapped. So that is why c8 plus 5 is not a good idea, and instead c8 equals to 7 would be a better choice. In view of this attack, red will now move his horse to the elephant's shoulder. This is called a tiger-headed horse, a 虎头马, and red will capture the pawn, threatening to capture the chariot, and also there's always the threat of a pale corner horse check. Red trades material, and instead of capturing or trading material, black could protect his camp in this very brilliant way. Now, this is perhaps the best move for black in this situation. So, if black captured or traded chariots, red will go for attempt the elbow horse. The other horse would now jump into action, threatening to capture the horse. And it is obvious that black would have a significant advantage. Now, if black captured the elephant with this move, check, and then protected and was still supposed to move the chariot over here. Now this is an important move to prevent the elbow horse checkmate. c5 plus 4 would be played. Black would defend. Otherwise, if you move the elephant, the chariot will be lost. So c5 minus 1, forcing a trade of trying to force a trade of material. The red horse will jump into action. There's always a threat of an elbow horse checkmate because the chariot was now here. Red would counter in this manner. Check. But again, the threat of the elbow horse checkmate is still evident, and if red will be attacking, if alpha equals to 6, there's always the threat of a pale corner horse checkmate to capture the cannon. So red would have, black would be still in deep trouble. So that is why RA plus 2 would be the best move in this situation. When red chose to trade chariots, RA plus 2 is advised. RA plus 3 or C7 plus 7 are both not viable. With this move, red will first consolidate his defenses against the pale corner horse check. Black would play C7 plus 2, again denying red the chance to play the elbow horse. Check, threatening to capture the cannon. And after trading material, red will still have the initiative, as he'll be now prepared to play c8 equals to 5 to continue his attack from the central file. So this is today's board. Short recap. We shall do it as black. A short recap of the situation. This would be the variation discussed. H7 plus 6. We'll do it as black, sorry. P5 plus 1. Red starts the attack from central file. We have left Riverbank horse. A continuation with P7 plus 1 until it goes to 4. Now, before we continue, a gentle reminder. This is a different, although the position is similar to the left Riverbank horse variation that I've discussed in the past. There are fundamental differences because of the 2 pawns that have been advanced. In the central cannon versus left Riverbank horse variation, red would have advanced the pawn but not black, so this move will have a huge difference in the entire opening system. Please feel free to see the videos that I've uploaded some time ago. Variation A, C2 plus 2. Black would wishfully think that he could start an attack on this flank. P7 plus 1, red immediately pounces into action. And after opening a line, P3 plus 1, red will now address the issue of this horse. C equals to 7. Red trades material, a check. Again, black should not play H3 plus 5, otherwise the cannon will capture the black cannon and there will be a threat of a smothered cannon checkmate. Now, after consolidated defense, red will now capture the cannon. Again, red will offer his elephant, but he will be compensated with an attack and good development of all the pieces. And at this point, the earlier efforts to give this red horse an open line cannot be greatly appreciated. Variation B, H6 plus 7, which is perhaps black's best move in this situation. H3 minus 5, C8 equals to 7. Again, black cannot attempt a cannon skewer or he will be penalized heavily with red's attempt to trade chariots. You can compare this position to the other boards in variation B. H5 plus 3, trade of chariots, which black cleverly defends in this manner. This would be a wait and see approach. So A4 plus 5 to defense. Once red defended, black would advance. C7 plus 2. The cannon will now be protecting the chariot. Check, protect, trade material, and red will still have the initiative in this situation, but black will still probably have a playable game. So I hope you've enjoyed this short video tutorial. This would be the last board in the series of central cannon versus double-headed snake pawns, screen horse defense with double-headed snake pawns. And if you like the work that I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Thank you.